Hello everyone. In today's video session, we'll be checking regarding how a synchronous up counter can be designed using a JK flip-flop IC, and we'll also be demonstrating its working. So this particular design part falls as a eighth experiment of a ADE curriculum, which is basically the fifth experiment in part B of the digital electronic circuits. So the aim of the experiment here is you need to design and implement a mod 8 or mod n, where n is less than 8 synchronous up counter using JK flip-flop ICs and demonstrate its working. The reason why we go on with the design of the JK flip-flop or why we go with the design of an counter using JK flip-flop is that in case of your SR flip-flop, when both the inputs are 1 and 1, the output is undefined or there is no definite value for the output. So in order to overcome that particular output, we'll be using JK flip-flop. Coming to the theory part of the counters, counters are the devices which will be counting the clock pulses which are being fed to that particular circuit. It may be a clock pulse or it may be any sequence that will be counted. So counters can be categorized into, basically if I speak about the counter, I can be categorizing my counter into up counter and I can be categorizing it into down counter. So these are the two basic categories of the counter. Up counters are those counters which will be counting the count starting from 0 to the higher numbers. The number may be the number what you are going to define in terms of its modulus. Down counters are those counters which will be counting the sequences or which will be counting the counts in the downward fashion up till 0 and return back. Again in this counters, we can still go with the classifications based on the way in which the clock signal has been given to that. So those classifications, one of them is called as synchronous counters and the other one is asynchronous counter. So synchronous counters are those counters in which the clock signals are given at a time to all the flip-flops. Asynchronous counters are those counters in which the clock signal is given only to the first flip-flop and the output of the first flip-flop will be acting as a clock to the second flip-flop and the output of the second will be acting as a clock input to the third flip-flop and so on. But here synchronous counters are considered to be comparatively faster because my clock signals are directly connected to all the flip-flops. So this is regarding the theory of your counters or the classifications of the counters. And speaking about the word mod what I am using here, this stands for the count to which the counter can be counting to the maximum value. For example, here it is given as mod n where n is less than 8. Let's say I am going to design a counter or I am going to design a mod 8 counter. So when I speak about mod 8 counter, my counter will be counting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and again to 0 if my counter is an up counter. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So mod stands here for the number of counts what your counter can count. So here you can pre-decide or you can decide what is the maximum count your counter needs to count. So elaborating the question here, what we need to do is you need to design a counter and after the design has been done, you need to implement it. You need to check or you need to demonstrate its working. So you need to design and implement a counter that is synchronous up counter using JK flip-flop ICs only. and after it has been designed, you need to demonstrate it. So this is your question. Moving on. A little bit of theory with respect to your counters. So in the digital and logic, in digital logic and computing, the counter is a device which stores and displays the number of times a particular event or sequence or a process has occurred, often in relationship to the clock signal. So you would have seen your what I can call, I can say you would have seen your speedometer. You would have seen a speedometer. So initially all the counts here will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. After that, what happens is this particular counter will start counting from 0 to 9. After it has been counted from 0 to 9, after it has completed 9, it will become 0, 0, 0, 1, and again this will become 0, and again this will advance its counting from 0 to 9. So this is what is called as up counter. So basically what it is counting, it is counting the rotations your wheel is making. So after it has completed one rotation, probably the next number will get updated and it will get back to the same thing from where it will start its count from the beginning. That is what is your counter. But in case of your digital circuit, every sequence or every process, whatever is occurring, will be in relationship with the clock signal. A synchronous counter is one whose output bit changes state simultaneously. Such circuit can be built using JK flip-flop. I already explained to you why did I go with the JK flip-flop, by connecting all the clock inputs together. So what I say here is, in case of your synchronous counter, all the clock inputs are connected directly to the flip-flops what I am going to take. That is why you call it as synchronous counter. So that each and every flip-flop receives exactly the same clock pulse at the exact time. This results in all the individual output bits being changed at exactly the same time in response to the clock signal with no ripple effect. Ripple effect means there is no propagation delay. What I mean to say is your second flip-flop need not wait for the first flip-flop to give the output, or your third flip-flop need not wait for the second flip-flop to give the output. So basically, at this particular point, you would have understood what is a counter. Counter is a device which is going to count the sequences, and that sequence will be in close relationship with the clock signal. So that is what is your counter. Moving on, these are the equipments what I need to take when I am going to demonstrate the working. So all this, why do I take all this particular components? I'll explain it to you later, because as of now, without telling you the design part, it is not possible to explain you why this particular components are taken. In spite of this, I know that 7408 is an IC what I've used very previously. 7400, sorry, this is not 7400, this is 7404. 7404 IC has also been used. The IC which is not known, or the pin diagram of the IC what is not known to us is 7476. So this 7476 is a dual JK master slave flip flop. JK master slave flip flop has already been studied by you people. You already designed it and you already implemented it. So 7476 is a ready-made JK master slave flip flop. So how did we implement the previous JK master slave flip flop? Was we took some NAND gates. We took 3 input NAND gates and we took 2 input NAND gate, and we gave the input. Those inputs were J, K, clock, preset and clear, and we verified the truth table of the JK master slave flip flop. This is what we did in the previous video what has been uploaded. Coming on to the other things, we need to be having a digital trainer kit and we need to be having the patch cords which are required for the connections. Okay. We'll get to the design part. So when I say the question what it has said is, you need to design a mod n counter where n was less than 8. So what we did was, we took n equal to 5. Let us take n equal to 5. So what I am going to do is, I am going to design a counter, or I am going to design a mod 5 counter. So my mod 5 counter means it will be counting 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. After 4, it will be again 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is going to repeat. Or I can say that this is going to count something like this: 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, and again it will be 0, 0, 0. So this is your first count, this is your second count, this is your third count, this is the fourth count, and this is your fifth count. These counts are taken in the transition diagram. The diagram what you can see here, this is the state diagram of your mod 5 counter. See here, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and after that it repeats. So how many counts totally? 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again repeating. And the arrow marks, what it is indicating here is, this arrow marks are indicating that it is an up counter. So it is starting from 0, it is going to 1, after 1 it is 2, after 2 it is 3, after 3 it is 4, after 4 it is getting back to 0. So this is the state diagram of your mod 5 counter. For example, if you are going for a mod 6 counter, then probably I need to be having one more state here which is saying 101. If you are going for mod 7 counter, I need to be having 6 states. If I am going for mod 8 counter, I need to be having 7 states. So depending on the question what is given to you, you need to draw the state diagram. The state diagram plays a very important role because you are asked to design. You are not implementing it, you are actually designing a mod 5 counter. Once the designing has been done, later you will go with the implementation. Fine. JK flip-flop. So as I said earlier, I'll be taking a JK flip-flop. So let's see the truth table of your JK flip-flop. It has already been given here. So let me write it down again here. For reference purpose, let me write it down here. So this is QN. So let me write the truth table. Okay. So this is 0, 0. This can be 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. We already studied in the master slave flip-flop. When it is 0 and 0, this will be previous. This will show you the previous value. Whatever value was stored in the flip-flop, the same value will be sent to the output side without change, or you can write it as no change. When it is 0, 1, when the input is 0, 1, it will be set. It will be showing 0. It will be showing 0. When it is 1, 0, it will go to 1. It will go to set state. This is your reset state and this is your set state. And when it is 1 and 1, it will toggle. It will toggle in the sense it will be continuously changing from 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. So this is the truth table of your JK flip-flop. The same has been altered and it has been written here. The same has been altered and it has been written here. This table is called as excitation table. So this is not the truth table. This is the excitation table of your JK flip-flop. So basically when I speak about your flip-flop, my flip-flops will normally be having a excitation table. The truth table will be changing itself into the excitation table. So this is your excitation table which we will come across even in the theory part. This diagram what you can see here, this diagram is called as transition diagram. This diagram what is seen here is called as transition diagram of JK flip-flop. So what it explains is, this diagram has got a very close relationship with the excitation table. So here, please concentrate. This is 0 and this is 1. So obviously the output of my JK flip-flop can either be 0 or it can either be 1. So what I am indicating here is, this is the transition. So if 0 has to change back to 0 itself, or if the 0 has to remain 0 itself, what should be the input? If 0 has to remain 0 itself, Let me say that my flip-flop is having an input of, or the data that is stored in the flip-flop is 0. Now you want the same 0 to be shown out, or the same 0 to be displayed at the output side. So what are the inputs you can give? The inputs what you can give are, you can either, it is already having 0, so you want to show the same 0. So you can either give the input as 0 0, or you can either give the input as 0 1. You can also give the input as 0 1. So if you give the input as 0 0, it will retain the same input, or if you give the input as 0 and 1, the same, or it will be showing an output of 0 itself. In general, you can write the input what can be given to this can be 0x. This can be 0x. Suppose the data that is stored in the flip-flop is 1 and you want it to be showing 1 itself, you can give the input as 0 0, or you can give the input as 1 0. You can give the input as 1 0, which means in general I can write it as x 0, because I can give either 0 0 or I can give 1 0. Transition diagram. Suppose if the data that is stored in the flip-flop is 0 and you want to change the data to 1. Suppose the data that is stored in the flip-flop is 0 and you want to change it to 1. So what are the inputs you can give? You can either give the input as 1 0, you can either give the input as 1 0, or you can either give the input as 1 and 1. If you give the input as 1 and 1, it is going to toggle, right? So you can give the input as 1 and 1, which can be written as 1 comma x. I can write this as 1 comma x. The same thing is getting reflected here. The same thing is getting reflected here. Your input is 0 and you want to change the data to 0. So what you can give? You can give the input as 0x. Your input is 0 and you want to change it to 1. You want to change it to 1. Your input is 0 and you want to change it to 1. The input that can be, the data j and k can be 1 and x. Similarly, the data that is stored in the flip-flop is 1 and you want to change it to 0. In that case, you can give the input as 0 1 or 1 1, which means I can write it as x comma 1. The same is getting reflected in the excitation table. It is 0. It is 0 here, and after a clock signal, I want it to be 0. So what are the inputs I can give? I can give the input 0x. So can you see it's 0x here? The input, the data that is stored in the flip-flop is 1 and you, after a clock signal, you want it to be 1 itself. So what are the inputs you can give? X0. So it is 1 and you want it to be retaining 1 itself, X0. It is 0 and you want it to be changing to 1. It is 0 and you want it to be changing to 1. So what are the inputs you can give? 1 and x. So it is 1 and x. It is 1 here and you want it to change to 0. It is 1 and you want to change it to 0. You can give the input of x and 1. So x and 1, x can be 0 or it can be 1. This particular table is very important for me for the design purpose. I need to know this table if I am designing any flip-flop using a, or any counters using the JK flip-flop. This is called as state table of the counter. State table of the counter. So this is easy. The table looks bigger, but it is easy to remember. Okay. Let's say that I want to count. What is the count? What is the count you are going to go? You are going to go with mod 5 counter. You are going to go with mod 5 counter, isn't it? So when I speak about mod 5 counter, you can go with any number of counts. There is no restriction for the counts. For example, let's say that you are going with mod 2 counter. You are going with mod 2 counters. If you are going with mod 2 counter, you can go with one flip-flop. One flip-flop is enough. Suppose if you are going with mod 4 counter, 2 to the power how much is 4? 2 to the power 2 is 4. So you need to take 2 flip-flops. Suppose if it is mod 8 counter. Suppose if it is mod 8 counter, 2 to the power how much is 3? 2 to the power how much is 8? 2 to the power 3 is 8. So you need to take 3 flip-flops. So if you are taking one flip-flop, please concentrate. If you are taking one flip-flop, the maximum count what it can give us, it can give only 2 counts. The maximum modulus will be 2. Suppose if you are taking 2 flip-flops, the maximum modulus is 4. Suppose if you are taking 3 flip-flops, the maximum modulus is 8. But you are going with mod 5 counter. So when you want a mod 5 counter, how many flip-flops are to be taken? You cannot go with 2 flip-flops because 2 flip-flops will be giving you only mod 4. Now as you are designing a mod 5 counter, I need to be taking 3 flip-flops. So when I say it is mod 8, it is going to give me 8 counts, right? It is going to give me 8 counts. But what you are expecting is you are expecting only 8 counts, I mean 5 counts, which means out of 8, 3 counts are not needed. I need to remove of this 3 counts. So my mod 8 counter can be counting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But what you are expecting is you are expecting that counter to be counting from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 5, 6 and 7 has to be removed. So that is what is regarding the flip-flops or the number of flip-flops what you are going to take when I am going to select the flip-flops for the modulus. Okay. Let us say that, let us go to the count here, okay? So 0, after 0 it is to be 1, after 1 it is to be 2, after 2 it is to be 3, after 3 it is to be 4, after 4 it is to go back, it has to go back to 0. This is how my counting sequence has to go on. This is how my counting sequence has to go on. So thus, state table represent the counting sequence what happens. So 0. What is the next count that has to happen? 1. So 0 is written here. 0, 0, 0 is written here. What's the next count that has to go on? 0, 0, 1. From 0, 0, 1, it is 2. So 0, 0, 1 is written here. You can see 0, 0, 1 is written here. After that, it is 2. 2 is written here. So this is your 0. This is your 1. This is your 1. This is your 2. This is your 2. And after 2, the next state should be 3. After 3, the next state should be 4. After 4, the next state should be, what should be next? Sorry, it is 3 here. It is 3 here. After 3, the next state should be 4. After 4, what should be the next state? My next state should be 0. My next state should be 0 itself. It has to be 0 itself. But here you can see, I have written the table here. I have written the table here with respect to everything. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. Actually, this is 5. Actually, this is 5, which need not be reflected. This is 6. This is 7. So you can see, after 4, I want it to get back to 0 itself. But here, the count 5 is there. This 5 should not be reflected in the counter. So after 5, I have written it as don't care. After 5, I don't want this count to be reflected itself. I don't want this count to be reflected. I don't want this count to be reflected. So whatever counts need not be reflected, the next state of that is written as XXX, or it is written as don't care conditions. It is written as don't care conditions. It is all regarding the state table. Coming back to the flip-flop inputs. Please concentrate. Your input is here is 0. Your input here is 0. What should be the next input? The next input should be 1. So let's say that the data that is stored in the flip-flop is 0 and you want it to be changing to 1. You want it to be changing to 1. Let's see that. Let's go back and let's see that. It is 0 and you want it to be changing to 1. So what is the value of j and k you can give? 1 and x is the input what you can give. See, you have written here. J should be 1, k should be x. This is how you fill it up. It is 1 here and you want it to be 0. It is 1 here and you want it to be 0. So let's check out what is JA and KA that can be given. So 1, 0. Let's go back. It is 1 and it should become 0. So the input what can be given as x1. So the input what is given as x1. It is 0 here and you want it to become 0 itself. You want it to be 1. So for 0 and 1, what is the input you are given? 1 and x. So I am giving 1 and x itself as the input. That is what I said. Excitation table is very important. It is 1 here and I want it to become 0. It was 1 here and I want it to become 0. So what is the input I given? X and 1. So I given x and 1. Now it is 0 here and it is should remain 0. It should remain 0. So let's go back and check. It is 0 and it should remain 0. So it is 0x. So see here. It is given as 0 X. It is 1 here, it is 1 here, and it is X here. But remember, how many states are to be reflected? You need to reflect only 5 states, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 states are reflected. After that, the remaining states are to be marked with don't care conditions itself. You are not going to check what is to be written. They are don't care itself. Let's check for the next one. Next one, B. So it is 0, it has to become 0. So 0 and 0, what is the input you can give? 0 and it should become 0, 0x. So can you see here? It's given as 0x. It is 0 here and it should become 1. Once it is 0 and if it has to become 1, the values what you can give is 1 and x. So you need to refer your excitation table and you need to fill up this particular columns. You need to fill up this particular table with respect to the flip-flop inputs. So you are going to write it only with respect to the 5 states. The remaining 3 states are ignored. I do not mind what will be the value after that. This is how you are going to fill up the excitation table. Next is, if you want, you can see for QC. So present state is 0. I want it to be 0 itself, next state also. So I can give the input as 0 and x. I can give the input as 0x. See here, you can check. Present state is 0. I want the next state also to be 0 itself. So input I am giving is 0x. Present state is 0. I want the next state to be 1. Or I want the next state to be 1 here. So when you want next state to be 1 here, you can give the input as 1x. Present state is 1. I want the next state to be 0. You can give the input as x and 1. So filling up this particular state table is very important because my entire design stands on this particular state table filling or the values what you are going to fill up in the state tables. Moving on further. What I'm going to do next is I'm just going to write the values in the K-map. For example, JC. For JC, I'm going to take the values here. I'm going to take the values here. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, x, x, and x. See, that values are taken. 0, 0, 0, 1, x, 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 and x. After that, you group them. You group the things and you get a formula for JC. JC is QB into QA. You can write it for KC. When you go for KC, you can check out x, 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 1, x, x, x. So for KC, you are writing x, 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 1, x, x, and x. As initially, I'll be looking for the octets. I can form an octet here. So I went with an octet here. So KC will be equal to 1. Very similarly, you can note down you can plot the K map for JB, KB, JA, and KA, and you will be getting the respective formulas here. These formulas are very important for me in the design part. This is what I said, designing. The formulas are very important to me. Whenever there are don't care conditions, try to form the octets as far as possible when you are going with the design part because my variables will get reduced drastically when I am having the octets. So the K maps are formed and I got the formula for everything. I got the formula for everything here. Now going to the design part, this is the truth table what you need to verify. Truth table what you are going to verify is you are giving the clock input of 0 and your clock counter should be counting first count. This is your first count. You are giving the next clock input, it will be counting the next clock input. That is, it is going to count the next count. You are going to give the next clock input, this is going to count third. Similarly, fourth. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this will be the repeated one. This will be the repeated. I mean the first count itself. So clock count means you are just going to give the clock input. You are going to give the clock inputs here. As soon as you are giving the clock input, every clock input will be counted and your counter is going to count from 0 to 4 and 4 it is going to go back to 0 and it is going to repeat the counting process in the upward fashion. However, we are going to check regarding this particular output or working of this in the demonstration part. So this is your pin diagrams of your IC. Need not explain this one. I need not explain even this one. This is the new thing what I need to explain, 7476. So 7476 is a JK flip-flop IC. So basically a 16-pin IC. So as I said you, when I speak about JK flip-flop, it should be having inputs as J, K, clock, preset and clear. It should have this many inputs. In addition to that, it should be having Q and Q bar. So these are your inputs and these are your outputs. See here, this is my flip-flop 1. This is my second flip-flop. So you can see the input. You can see the clock input. You can see preset. You can see clear. You can see J. You can see K. You can see Q. You can see Q bar. This is with respect to first flip-flop. Second flip-flop will also have the same. Clock, preset, clear, J, Q, Q bar and K. In addition to that, the IC will be having VCC and ground connections. But what you are going to design is, you are going to design a mod 5 counter. When I speak it's a mod 5 counter, how many ICs I need to take or how many JK flip-flops I need to take? You need to take 3. But in one IC, how many flip-flops are there? There are 2. So what you need to take is, you need to take 7476, which are 3 in number. That is why initially I had taken 7476 ICs, which are 3 in number. This is the design part. However, clock inputs of ICs, pin number 1, pin number 6 of the first IC. See, they have marked here. This is your first IC. This is your second IC. Clock inputs are pin number 1, pin number 6 and pin number 1. They are connected to clock input. They are connected to clock input directly. As they are connected directly to the clock input, I call this particular counter as synchronous counter. Very similarly, preset inputs, pin number 2, pin number 7 and pin number 2 are connected to the preset inputs. And they are to be kept high. They are to be kept high always. We have already seen this in the experiment of the master slave flip-flop. Also the clear input, pin number 3, pin number 8 and pin number 3 are connected to the clear input. So clock, clear and preset inputs are given to the respective pins of the flip-flops directly. Remaining things we'll check out. Okay, fine. Now let's go with the design part. Let's see what is JA. What is the formula for JA I have obtained? Let me go back and let me see what is the formula for JA. JA is given by QC bar. Let me write it down here. Okay, JA is given by QC bar. So this is A, this is B and this is C. So JA, what is QC bar here? This is QC bar. Yeah, you can take the output of the third flip-flop or the inverted output of the third flip-flop and you can connect it to the JA input. Let's say what is KA. Let's go back and see what is KA. KA is equal to 1. KA is equal to 1. So let me write it down here. KA is equal to 1. 1 means high. So you can connect your KA to VCC, which is high, or you can connect it to the input and you can keep it high. Similarly, let me check out what is JB, what is KB, what is JC and what is KC. So let me find out the formula for this. JB has already been done. So JB is QA, KB is QA. JB is QA. This is also QA. JC, let me check. So JC is QB into QA, KC is 1. JC is QB into QA. This is 1. So let me go with the connections. JB is QA. So this is QA. So connected QA to JB. KB is what? KB is also QA. So I've taken from here and I've connected it to KB. What is JC? JC is QB into QA. So QA is here. So you can take it from here and you can connect it to AND gate. It has to be ANDed and QB. So both are ANDed and the input is given to JC. What is KC? KC is 1. So it is high. Apart from that, you can connect your QA, QB and QC you can connect it to 7-segment displays, or you can connect it to LEDs also. You can connect it to LEDs also. You can connect it something like QC, QB, QA to the output side. And once you are giving the clock input, your QC will be showing 0, 0, 0. Again, you give the next clock input, it will show 0, 0, 1. Again, one more clock input you are going to give, it will show 0, 1, 0. And it will go up to 1, 0, 0. After 1, 0, 0, if you are going to give one more clock input, it will get back to 0, 0, 0, and it will repeat the entire process.
Moving on to the implementation part after the design, this is a circuit diagram what we have obtained. So you can see there are 3 flip-flops which are connected by a single clock synchronously, and I have also given you the reason why I need to be using 3 flip-flops in case of my mod 5 counter. You can also see the various inputs are connected as per the equations or as per the expressions what I obtained from the K-map. You can also see there are 3 flip-flops. This is first flip-flop, second flip-flop and the third flip-flop with the inputs JA, KA, JB, KB, JC and KC respectively. Also the outputs QA, QA bar, QB, QB bar, QC and QC bar. Also you can see that there are 2 inputs to every flip-flop which is preset and clear, which is to be kept at active high when I am using my flip-flop as a counter. In addition to that, you can see the clock input which is synchronously connected to all the flip-flops. Also you can see that JA and KA are connected to the respective input as per the expression what I obtained from the K-map in the design part. Moving on to the actual circuit diagram, you can see I have taken 3 ICs here. The ICs what I have taken here are, first one is 7476, the second one is also 7476, and the last one is 7408, which is an AND gate IC. Because in the circuit diagram, if you can check out, I need to be using an AND gate here. The same AND gate IC has been taken in the circuit diagram. So 7476 IC is a flip-flop IC which basically contains 2 flip-flops. So in my mod 5 counter, I need to be using 3 flip-flops. So 2 flip-flops are in the 7476 IC and 1 flip-flop from the second 7476 IC has been taken. So moving on further, the connections are done as per the circuit diagram. The inputs here are taken from the top. So you can see there are inputs what I have taken. So the inputs what I have taken are, you can see clock input. So this is your clock input. So this is the clock input what has been taken. Other than that, you can see clear and preset. So this is your clear and preset. In addition to clear and preset, this is your KA and this is your KC. So KA, KC, preset and clear. KA should be high, KC should be high, preset and clear both should be high. That is as per the circuit diagram. If you can check the circuit diagram, see here. From here preset, this is to be high, clear should be high, your KA should be high and your KC should be high. So it is kept, or the values of KA, KC, preset and clear, all the values are kept high. In addition to this, these are the outputs of your flip-flop. So this is the output of the first flip-flop, this is the output of the second flip-flop, and this is the output of the third flip-flop. So this is QA, QB and QC. So QC will be MSB, QA will be LSB. So we will turn on the circuit, and as I explained, I need to keep KA, KC, preset and clear high. I have kept all the values high. So what next you need to do is, what you need to do next is, from the circuit diagram you can check out, see this is your clock input, this thing is your clock input. So as soon as you can see the initial count what it is displaying is 0, 0, 0, which means my initial count is 0. Next what you need to do is, you need to press your clock input once. Once you press the clock input once, you can see the LED at the output side, that is QC glowing, which means it is showing 001. In the next instant, what you need to do is, you need to give the second clock input. When you give the second clock input, it becomes 0, 1, 0. So second count, third count is counted. Next, it has one more clock input. So I'll press the clock input again, and you can see it has become 0, 1, 1. Finally, the last clock input to be given, and it has become 1, 0, 0. After 1, 0, 0, if you observe very carefully here, if I give one more clock input, it will become 0, which means that it will be showing 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. After that, it is again 0. Instead of giving the clock input, what you can do is, you can give the clock input directly to the frequency input. If you connect it to the frequency input, you can see it is getting changed by itself. So you can see that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, again 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again 0. This is the demonstration of your mod 5 counter.